guys, what's going on? So, it's about 2:17 a.m. Friday night. Can't sleep. And, and I just can't stop thinking about the disconnect between young men and their fathers that the world has gone through and is going through and is suffering from right now. I just can't stop thinking about how much I've moved forward in my life in the past year, pretty close to 100% because of men, connecting with older men, connecting with men. And for myself, I look at before that how much I detested them and hated them and felt disconnected from them, from men, from myself, I guess, too. But this problem is obviously one that keeps me up at night. And someone said to me this week something about being on the cusp, just on the lip of something, and I believe this is that thing. It is bridging the gap. I've always felt myself to be a connector, like the value is in the connections I make in the world, and bridging the gap between today's young men and yesterday's older men, so that we can have a world that goes on. This isn't something that's going to happen by itself. And by the way, the world isn't something that happens by itself. It requires incredible upkeep every single day. And call it the patriarchy or whatever negative self-hate you want to project onto society. But a large part of the world is run by men, the majority of it. And has been run by men and will be continuing to run by men. And there's nothing to do with men and women about it. That's just the truth. And the way that will continue to happen is by older men continuing to pass on the torch to young men. And something happened, I don't know, in the past couple decades where everyone got mad at their dads, including myself, but it's just not the way forward. And I believe I'm put here to show young men that. I'm put here to connect to older men and give their gifts to young men. I know I'm put here to reawaken these young men to themselves, to their bodies, to their lives, out of this depressing blanket of the internet that just isolates us and disembodies us and fucks us up. So, I'm making this video as a declaration, announcement, a commitment, a moment in time where this connection becomes the priority in my life, in the world. Because, like I mentioned, I don't see a world without it happening. And I wish I could say more right now. I certainly have much to say about this, but I think all I'll end on is that a love of the world starts from a love of yourself, and it is where you will get all of the answers you need. Back to work.